Good morning, everybody. I am so excited to share with you tip number 2, which is actually the first real training that I'm doing in this series. The very first tip was the calendar that you were emailed when you signed up for the newsletter. If you don't have that, it's going to be okay, but you really need it. So just shoot me over an email at hello@brookielynsbungalow.com and I will send one right over to you. All right, so we're just going to jump right in. This is tip number 2 from Learn My 5 Secret Tricks for Marketing My Paint Parties. And this will work for you as well. Not only is it what I use to market my paint parties, but it's also the way that I market everything in my business. My wooden workshop kits, my flipped furniture, any vintage finds, the Build-A-Bunting bar, even my social media classes. Just like this little series, I'm giving away information, and you will see why that's so important later on. So a little bit about me, social media marketing coach. I specialize in Facebook. I love Instagram, and I have in the past year really started honing in on my videos for YouTube and posting those on Pinterest. Helped hundreds of small businesses, just like you, learn how to play this social media game, but I really like to teach you how to work smart, not hard, because the number one thing that I hear from people is social media is way too time consuming, but it pays dividends later. I'm also a paint retailer, so I know the struggle. I know all the challenges. I know all the great parts too, and I incorporate that in my social media marketing and training for you guys. I'm a workshop instructor, obviously, and I promote all my workshops using these 5 tricks, and I flip furniture, not as much as I would like to because it's so time consuming, and who has time anymore? But I love to do it, and I'm actually smack dab in the middle of an awesome piece right now. I cannot wait to Instagram it. But the most important thing to you is that I'm a co-organizer of I'm one of 2 organizers of the Dallas's premier social media marketing group, and we have grown it to over 1,700 members. Google, Yahoo, YouTube, LinkedIn, Forbes magazine, all of them, they have sent representatives. They've spoken at our meetings. They promote a lot of their events to our meetings. Mark Cuban promoted his Dallas Digital Summit through our meeting a couple months ago. It's really great. You should check that out on meetup.com, DFW Social Media Marketing. So let's get started. Tip number 1, there's that tool. There's the calendar. I use it all the time. I have 100 copies just blank sitting in a tray. If you don't have it, you need to get that out and make it handy right now. Tip number 2 through 5. Tips number 2 through 5 are E-I-E-I-O, and I'm a teacher. I was a school teacher for 11 years, so I make everything into these little anagrams, and it's very easy to remember. Just think of the farmer in the dale. So E-I-E-I-O. And tip number 2, this one, we're going to be focusing on the first E, which is educational. Everything that you post online needs to be E-I-E-I-O. And the first thing is educational. That is very important. You need to establish yourself as an expert online. And you do that through giving away education and showing people what you know, how to interpret things that you read and learn, and just basically giving people information. That's what they want. They want education, and it is free, and it requires no elbow grease on your part, but it is a huge winning strategy for gaining followers and having them really respect you in your industry. So when you post something that's educational, this is where the calendar comes in the planning. You need to post something educational when it's going to be most seen and received well by your followers. And for me, that is, let's see, let's do cyan. That is always on Sundays. Ooh, I love my circling technique here. And Saturdays. Because the weekend is when I am, going to my son's baseball games and just kind of vacuuming, cleaning the house and stuff like that. And every once in a while I'll sit down and play on my phone, or I'll go to bed that night on my phone looking on Pinterest. So I tend to send out all my educational stuff on Sundays and Saturdays. That's not the only 2 days you want to send it out on, or you have to send it out on, but it's a good start. So Sundays and Saturdays are my days when I'm educating my followers. So what I would do if I were you, I would write education above Sunday and Saturday. And this is really difficult to do with a Mac, iPad, mouse pad thing. But either way, write educational on Sunday and Saturday. And I'm just doing EDU because it's shorter and y'all won't be bored. So what does this look like? We're going to send out educational posts on Sunday and Saturday that promote your workshop too. That sounds really complicated, but it is so super easy. So here we go. Let me go to the next slide. Establish yourself as an expert by going to your favorite blog, read and look for tips and tricks that are educational within that blog that you can share in small batches over time. Let me repeat that. Go to your favorite blog, and while you're reading through that, whatever the post is, just highlight, jot down, copy and paste onto a Word document, just little tips and tricks you learn from that blogger along the way. Here's the one that I went to. Miss Mustard Seed's my go-to. I don't know why. I just love everything that she does, and this is a perfect example. This is a recent buffet redo that she just did, and I just want to stare at it all day long. And your customers will want to stare at it all day long too. So I read her blog, and one of the lines in the blog that I copied and pasted was, "This buffet is a great example of milk paint doing what only milk paint does. I didn't do anything to this piece other than paint it, and this is what it wanted to do. I was speaking to it very nicely as I was distressing, so that might have been a factor." Miss Mustard Seed. So she always has a little funny, snarky something in there. And here's the link to that. So let's get out of here for a second. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Here's the blog. I found it online, and I read through it, and I found something that I liked what she said right down here. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I'm going to copy and paste that. So then I went over here to my Facebook, and I said something myself. I said, Marion, aka Miss Mustard Seed, really knows how to get me to stop and look. Copied and pasted that, gave her credit right there. And then I asked a question, an engaging question. Do you speak to your furniture too? Join me and let's speak to some furniture in my upcoming Bring Your Own Piece workshop at the end of the month. Register here. Put my link, put Miss Mustard Seed's link here. I tagged her so she would know I shared it, and I hashtagged important hashtags. Ironstone is the color she used, Chippy, Peely, Milk Paint, Miss Mustard Seed. So now with those hashtags, anytime anyone searches for Miss Mustard Seed up here in the search box, or Antique Buffet, or Chippy, or Peely, or Ironstone, any of those keywords, they're going to find my post regardless of whether they're my friend or follower. So that's really, really important. Hashtags allow people to find you that aren't already your friend or your follower. The reason why I had to tag Marion is because I shared using the URL. I copied and pasted it, And when I shared using the URL, instead of using the button at the bottom of the post to share, let's see where that is. Let's get this crap off of here. There's usually, okay, there we go. You can share it right here. You can see that it's been shared 23 times. If you share from there, that's okay, but all of the purple monkeys, the people who commented purple monkey on my original post, know why I did not share from right there. And if you go back here, you can see something really cool. In my post, was able to add Brookielynn of Brookielynn's Bungalow can teach you to create the chippy look too. Oak Buffet Reveal. And then this is missmustardseed.com. So adding my name and my business to this was key to the success of this post. And that is just a super fun trick that I taught last night or the day before. And it's just awesome. So anyways, this trick is educational, posting something educational. I have right here educated my public by saying milk paint chips on its own. All you have to do is paint with it. I've said down here, I can teach you how to do that too. I've said all the hashtags here. I've hitched my wagon to a star right here, Marion. So this is actually going to post on her page as well. There's a really awesome picture in my post, which causes your anything you post on Facebook will be clicked 37% more likely to be clicked if it has an engaging picture. So there's an engaging picture. I've quoted her, said a little something about it, but as you can see, it's not on a Saturday or a Sunday because I'm not recording this video on a Saturday or a Sunday. So I did post something educational on Thursday, but don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. You can post it whenever you want. Just make sure that you're being receptive to your audience and you're thinking and using that calendar as your tool. So right now, your calendar should say educational on Saturday and Sunday. You are more than welcome to post educational material more than Saturday and Sunday, but that's what I want you to write down for now, and I want you to try this. You can go ahead and try it today. That's perfectly fine. And when you post something educational today, go ahead and on the day that you post it, check the box right here. Let's see. See, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. You can check the box and say, oh, I posted on Twitter today. Or you can post to all of them. If you don't tweet, then just don't check that box. But I like to keep track of how many times I post, what I post, when I post, all of that stuff. That way I can recreate this the following month, because that information I just shared from Miss Mustard Seed, that never gets old. That's never going to be a tip or a trick that's not going to be relevant. So I can use it again, because let's just face it, we don't see everyone's posts every time they post. So don't be afraid to post the same thing on both Sunday and Saturday. You don't have to come up with a whole nother post for Saturday. You can post it the same tip or trick on both days. Or you can wait and post it again on Wednesday or something like that. Whatever makes you feel most comfortable. But educate your people at least 2 days a week. Tie it back to your workshops and do all the things that I had said in the post to make it effective. So tip number 2, be educational in your posting. And let's make this go back down a little bit more. And make it big. 90% of what you post online needs to be EIEIO. We'll get to the rest of that later, but for now, educational. You need to just educate, post educational stuff on a day when others will be receptive to it. Your educational posts are innuendos that lead very nicely into your workshops. E is for educational. hitch your wagon to a star like Miss Mustard Seed. If it's your favorite blog, it's probably other people's favorite blog. And just put that information in front of them, tag that person so that it goes onto Marion's page too, and then Marion will most likely say thanks for the tag, or something like that, and that's awesome. Mention her, mention any other people you'd like to mention, like your store that you're in. Hashtag, link to the original post, and always have a picture or a video in your Facebook post. So you can do all of this as well on Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest, and I encourage you to be educational on all your platforms. But if you only have time for one, I would choose Facebook or Pinterest. So I hope you liked tip number 2, and check back tomorrow for tip number 3. Talk to you later.